Hey everybody, it's a Review Revolution, back at you again, and we've knocked out the first set. Mind you, it was only 2 figures, but we've knocked out the first set of kind of haunted October Halloween themed NECA figures. The Haunted World of El Super Beasto. Go back and watch them. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to the Resident Evil Archives Series 2, which between Series 2 and Archives, I tend to think they're simply saying we're re-releasing the Resident Evil figures, the NECA Player Select figures. Now, as most people probably remember, I think it was either earlier this year, or it's probably middle of last year, I guess it was, that NECA did the Resident Evil figures, including Chris, the Licker, the Zombies, Jill, Lab Coat Zombie, Hunter, Hunk, Crimson Skull, and, of course, Tyrant. And about the middle of this year, they went ahead and repackaged and re-released Jill, the Lab Coat Zombie, and the Hunter. And I gotta say, there have been some great reviews on these. I was tempted to pop these open earlier and do reviews of them before this, but I kind of thought, no, you know what? I've got them. I expected to hold on to them until Halloween, so here we go. And actually, it's kind of a second chance for me, because if you've watched my channel or if you've watched some of my old videos, you'll probably remember that Jill Valentine was actually the best I could do for a Valentine's Day review. So, yeah, it's something where it's like, I thought I burned that one up. I thought I burned that bridge. But no, turns out that NECA had my back and decided to re-release her in her black outfit. Did I mention that yet? It's the black outfit. Yeah. Jill Valentine. Now, here again, ages 18 and up. I haven't been paying attention, but, you know, from this point forward, since The Predator, El Super Beasto, Tomb Raider, and now Resident Evil, I'm going to pay attention to these age limits, because somehow NECA, either for whatever reason, seems to be kind of doing something different. Never noticed it before, but I'm going to start paying attention to that. On the packaging, this very different from the original release figures. It was in a bubble shell, Resident Evil Archive. Here we kind of have this distressed, almost, you know, actually it looks like almost like moldy wallpaper on the deco on the box. It somehow looks like a wall from the mansion. It's actually really cool. On the back, of course, we've got the original figure, which looks beautiful. I love the way this photo is taken of Jill standing in front of kind of this backlit window. Of course, it has Jill Valentine on it. The write-up, member of STAR's Alpha Team, position rear security, proficient, I screwed that up last time, proficient in bomb disposal and lock picking. Time has not improved things. One thing this one actually does have is a plug for the Capcom games, the Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, and Resident Evil 0, and the Resident Evil and Resident Evil 0 for the Wii. I loved 0. I thought that was actually really cool, and I do want to try Chronicles. I haven't had a chance to yet, but that actually looks pretty cool too. So, you know, shameless game plug. Here we have the NECA logo, Player Select, and as I said before, anytime NECA puts their credits on it, I will take a moment to read them. Production development was Randy Falk. Randy, man, you're the guy. You're our man at NECA. Sculpt was Ray Santori. Paint, John Wardell and Godfrey Trapp. Guys, we're going to have to talk. Composites was Brian Roll. Packaging and photography, Nicole Falk. Excellent photo. Beautiful, beautiful. But that's a quick look at Jill. Well, that's a look at Jill in the pack. Maybe not quick. We'll take a moment, pop out of the pack, and have some fun. Be right back. All right, everybody. We've got the Valentine twins out of their pack, and it's kind of important to point out that this Jill Valentine here, this one, was the original one that came out of the anniversary set. She was re-released in the archived, meaning that the black one here is just a variant of her, and I'm really glad she got re-released, because as far as a variant goes, the black one is nice, but the original one, the classic blue and gray, much better, definitely a superior figure. Now, just to kind of get a look, kind of a refresher on it, I love the way they colored her. I mean, this is just a really great version of the original Jill Valentine from the first game. I mean, everything from kind of the very pale, very kind of ash-like blue to her, gray top, the shoulder pads and the beret, the shoulder pads and the pants, all of them matching very much in the color scheme of the original. Again, her top in kind of the gray color. I don't really like the fact that they did go through and kind of dry brush this gray across her straps. I don't really care for that a whole lot. If it had been kept a solid black, that would have been much nicer. But the fact that there is this variety of color, and the boots, very well conceived boots. I love how the sculpting on the boots look. The fact that there is a little bit of a difference here in the color at the top versus the boot itself. If it'll focus, there we go. The detail looks really good. This is definitely the better of the two figures. One complaint that I had with this one was that her skin tone was very pale. It was very bad. It almost looks as though that she herself were dying. That is nothing compared to how this one has turned out. Much, much more pale. And it's a bit of a shame because, considering that she's sculpted out of all this black, you would have thought that the warmth of her skin would have come out a little bit more, but instead they really, really washed her out. I mean, her skin tone is really bad. I mean, at least here there is a little bit of warmth in the arm, a little bit of additional paint to give her a little more life. On this one, it is bad. It is very bad. And I commented before that the expression on her face didn't really help. She has this kind of very tired, just washed out look. And it comes off really, really bad on this one. The fact that the black is pretty much consistent throughout the entire figure. The only real difference being is that the gray on the boots, the holster, and then the straps, her little side pouch here, these are a little bit lighter, so they stand out, but, being all in black, it just looks a little monotone. It's a little boring. The stars patch here on her arm, it definitely pops. It pops out real well. I mean, it popped pretty good on this one also. But you can really kind of see, the differences. On the back, the stars. Let's see if you can pull kind of up there. So it's something where the sculpt is exactly the same, the pieces used are exactly the same, even to the point where when you take out her gun, and it's in there good and tight, when you take out her gun, you can see that her shoulder kind of has a hunch to it, just like the original did, because she's just not meant to be posed standing like this. She's not meant to be posed standing straight up and down. The articulation, there is a twist here at the sleeve, I guess. The arm does come up. Doesn't really come out to the side, really, not much. Just a little bit. Same thing here. Just comes out a little bit, but up and down. Twist at the wrists. Head is on a ball joint. Twist at the waist. And there is a twist at the boot too, but of course, you know, we have it on our base, so just kind of take my word for it. Nothing in the legs, you know, nothing in the knees, nothing like that. So a little disappointing there. Just like the original Jill, her gun, which is actually very well painted. I like how her gun turned out. Does actually fit into her holster like so. Which, considering that the arm, and I said this before, considering the arm is sculpted so that she's meant to be holding her gun, putting it in the holster here doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. In the way of her accessories, she does have a taser, which, you know, I'm not too sure how you would put it in her hand or whether or not that would even... Yeah, I don't think that would even make much of a difference. She also comes with her heel spray. Oh, there we go. Comes with a little heel spray bottle. Could that be what fits in? There we go. Got a can of mace. There we go. Stand back. She's got her mace can. And finally, I didn't point this out before because I didn't notice actually, but she has an assortment of grenades. And when I looked closely, I saw that the pin on their grenade can actually be removed. Now, if you're prone to losing your accessories, if you're prone to losing small parts, yeah, this may not be for you. Because that barely fits in there as it is. But yeah, apparently the pin on the grenades can actually be pulled. Why not? If you've watched my videos before, you know that I am a big fan of taking care of my packaging, especially if a part of it can actually be used as a diorama or for some sort of display purpose. And if you slide this out of the inside of the box, set the original one aside. You can have this Jill standing in that kind of distressed room, kind of the backed into a corner of the mansion, maybe like so. But again, not a bad sculpt, not a bad figure, just not as good as the original release. And even so, even the original release, the paint on the skin and on the face certainly needs some improvement. Needs to have a little more life into it, a little more warmth, because here she really does just look like she's ready to give up. And it doesn't look as though that she's ready for a fight of her life. But this has been the Review Revolution, saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.